We can have the videos on, please. Hari Om to all Atmajyotis here. Let us begin this Tattvabodha class, which is the talk 4 and 5. We have finished the 3 talks with the opening prayer. Antar Jyotihi Bahir Jyotihi Pratyak Jyotihi Parat Para Jyotireva Jyotihi Swayam Jyotihi Atma Jyotihi Shivosmyaham. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Narayana Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. With the blessings of Guruji, let us start with this 3rd session. This will be our 3rd session, and it is about the talk 4. So you're traveling, is it?
Yeah, I'm just coming back. I'm just coming back. I'll be home in 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So hope you can. It's okay for you?
Yeah, no issues.
Okay, fine. So what we've seen that it is the Tattvabodha is about the essential nature. So being in the superficial life, and what is it? Will it give happiness or not? And what we have to do instead of being in the suffering and struggle, what we have to do is finding out the or recognizing the essential nature. We have just seen through in the 3 talks. So next comes here the 4th talk, which with which we can have the questions. The first question in that talk, I would go in the order of the way it has been taught. So the questions will follow in the same way. It's not mixed up or anything, because whatever, each sentence is important, because repeating that sentence will only give us a lot of insight about how to find our Atma. So the same way it will be followed. So the first question would be, what is spirituality? Who would go first? Any of you can answer.
Shall I answer? Shall I answer, Kantiji?
Yeah.
Okay. So, according to me, spirituality is not something so different. Basically, the same life that we are leading that superficial life with only body, mind and energy. We do not know, like Prabhuji said, that there is something more than these 3, and we are only identifying and living this life. But when you start your quest for what is there more than this, that is true, that is the truth, then that is the journey into yourself, which we normally call spirituality. And like something like spirituality is something different from our daily life. But really, this whole life is meant to know who you are. But we leave that and we do all other things. And we've given it a special name. So turning inwards to find out the truth that you really are is, according to me, is according to all scriptures, spirituality.
Correct, Sudhaji. Vaishnavi-ji, would you like to tell what spirituality is?
The journey to finding the real self, the real nature would be spirituality. The turn from outwards to inwards, the direction matters. So I think that turn of seeking knowledge and seeking happiness therein is spirituality.
Both of you said it correct. Another thing that can be added is basically when we have no idea of what this is, we usually think that we must sit and study something. We must go with the Vedas, the Upanishads. We'll have to acquire the knowledge of those. Only then can we be spiritual. This is something that may be commonly understood. So it is not only that without that knowledge, yes, maybe we cannot come into it. Yes, the knowledge must be there, but it is not adding to what I already know. It is not that we will have to have the studied scriptures, Upanishads and Vedas, and then only can we be spiritual or can we attain the moksha. So that is not so. It is that we'll have to recognize the real nature and as you both said, leaving behind this superficial life. It's not how much of knowledge we have acquired, but it is what you know about yourself. Being is what that we need to know, and it is not something that we will have to memorize. The same things are told by Guruji in his talk. The same way he has said, that means we need not have to memorize. We need not have to recollect what has been learned. Only thing is, we will have to turn inwards and try to understand ourselves. Hari Om Geeta ji.
Hari Om, ma'am. Namaste.
The first time that you've joined, this is our third session. Nice to see you in this group. She's
Thank you so
Geeta
much.
ji and Sudha ji and Vaishnavi ji. We three are there along with me here. So we have just started with the first question, what spirituality is, and they've just given their answers. You can also share, because this talk 4, maybe to just sum up what was done in the last 2 sessions is that Tattvabodha is a basic text that was written by Adi Shankaracharya. And then what is it in that text is that you will be easily understanding what you are. That means the Atman or the essential nature, how you are existing. That is what will be dealt in this whole of the text. And Guruji's talks will be in maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Those videos are sent. You already know how it is happening. And you just come prepare for that particular video so that all the questions will be based on that only, and you can make a note of it also. While preparing only, if you can make the note of it, you will not be missing any points. So that is what even we've been doing earlier also, and this time also I've been doing the same thing. Okay. So instead of being in the spirit, the superficial life outwardly, the objects and all that, instead of getting attracted to that, it's not that we should escape from that. It is that we will have to go inwards and recognize who we are. So that is our real essential nature. That is the Atma or the Brahman. So Brahman is existing everywhere, within me, within you, within Sudhaji, within Vaishnavi-ji, and all the objects here, the computer, the trees, plants, everything. So the world also has the Brahman. We also have the Brahman. So understanding both are nothing but, everything is nothing but Brahman, is what is about this text. Okay. So the next, the same question I would just ask you, they just answered, what is spirituality? The first few sentences that Guruji talks in talk 4 is that.
Okay. So just as per my understanding, spirituality is knowing the truth. Knowing the truth. Okay, the truth is we are soul beings. Okay, we are here to experience the life. Okay, and we are in this world, there is a Maya. Okay, through Maya only we will come to know the real essence of the being. So Maya is important to understand the true being. So that's why this Earth planet is made like that. And for me, there are the spirituality, exact meaning is in simple way, knowing yourself what you are. You are Atman, and you have to live in that beingness. So you are in this world with awareness.
Exactly. This is correct. So you have started to interact with your first answer. Okay, the next question goes to Sudhaji. What is I am? Explain with an example.
I am. So again, Prabhuji, in his talk, he says that whenever we talk about ourselves or we talk about the activities that we are indulging in, it always starts, especially in English language, it starts with I am. I am a teacher, or I am a mother, or I am sick. So this, we always think that this part I am, which is in the English sentence, we think it is part of the grammatical construction, and generally, at least when I say we, please don't think all, I actually meant me only. We always think that it is a part of the English sentence, and we think that it is actually pointing to the second part of the sentence, which is woman, teacher, sick, healthy, sad, unhappy, whatever this I am is actually pointing to the later part of the sentence. But now, after coming into this study, what Prabhuji is pointing out is I am is actually referring to you as consciousness, existing as consciousness. I refers to consciousness, am refers to existence. So I am always refers to you existing as consciousness. But we leave out this and we focus on all the other part of the sentences which will point to our state or role or activities or something.
Exactly.
I am is common in everything. That is what Prabhuji is saying.
So it is so true. Even when we have the self-talk or talking with anybody, this is happening. As you said, we forget the latter part of the sentence. I am, followed by whatever we say, we just stick on to that there rather than I am is understood. We just ignore that. So here, I am is something important for us to go inward. This is something that we need to remember always. And then, oh, I am is who? If we question that, then we can go inward. Vaishnaviji, your next question. Why are we unable to identify the consciousness or the Atma?
Because we always want to connect with the easier way to connect is with the body, the mind, or whatever is running in the intellect. And that is what we have been accustomed to. Either relate others with what they are or what they do, and our interactions with them. So, so the fact is that when I say I am sad, I am happy, I maybe that now, but may not that be that after a while. But I am the existence and the consciousness is what is constant throughout. It does not change. Um, and and by identifying yourself with the body or the state of mind or the intellect, you are attaching to many things that are momentary and fleeting. So it is difficult to find happiness or even meaning in attaching yourself with something as temporary as that.
Exactly said. So it is changing and unchanging that we are mixing up. And that is what is creating. We are always following the changing, but not fixing on to ourselves with the unchanging fact. Geeta ji, with the example of moving and stationary train, you can just tell us what you understood and how you can connect to this Tattvabodha. The train, which is
in this part, no, I have not gone through the videos of Guruji, but whatever I understand regarding this,
no, you
I
just
would like
imagine. I'll tell you about this train. If at all you don't know the example, I'll just tell you the train example that was dealt here. See, you're sitting in a train which has not started yet. There is another train which is coming next to in the next track, and it is moving. It is moving very fast. So what do we feel? Our train has started and our train is moving. That is how we feel. So with this, how is it that you can relate to the Atma and the body, mind, and intellect?
Okay.
If at all you can, you just tell.
Sure. Sure.
You can give your own views. Maybe
Yeah,
next time you can
my
be prepared
own
with the video.
understanding. Yes. So the stationary, we at times, like, if our train is moving, not moving or in a still stage, and the other train is moving very fast, we feel we are moving. And it is like we can connect with the worldly things. When we are in this world, we feel whatever is happening in the surroundings, it is there within us also. So that's one aspect. And the other thing is, though it is like sometimes we move and the things also move, and we think that it is coming along with us while going, but it will not come. It will stay there only. We are moving forward. So this is all illusion. That's it, ma'am.
You've partly touched on the things that the outer world, as you said, there are so many attractive things in this world when we open our eyes. So we just follow that. And actually, it is changing, constantly changing. Okay. But the thing that is permanent is the Atma, which is stationary. So the things that are moving in our life are changing and it keeps moving. But what is behind everything of our experiences is the Atma, which is unchanging and which is stagnant. So it doesn't move anywhere. It is the background with which we are working. Our life is. So that is what this example tells. Okay. Next question is Sudhaji. Explain I and me.
Okay. So again, Prabhuji draws this very clear distinction between I and me. Again, we always believe that I and me are just different grammatical sentence words that we use. But like Prabhuji pointed out, I refers to the eternal, the unchanging truth, which is consciousness, which is existence as consciousness that we really are. And me is always the later part of the sentence. Like these roles that you are playing, or these activities that you are indulging in, or the things that you own, or the people that you think are your own, all this will come under this me category. So I is the unchanging and me is the changing, fleeting samsara.
Okay, you have answered it perfectly well. Vaishnavi ji, what is samsara? What she mentioned can be asked. Because samsara means we actually understand it in a different way. But what is it actually?
Samsara is the sum total of all our interactions, relationships, our emotions, and our physical existence. The various roles that we play in our physical existence and their interactions with others. That's what I have understood.
Okay. This is one aspect. The other aspect is maybe Geetaji, can you just tell?
Yes, ma'am. It is like, it's a chain of birth and death cycles, emotions, and taking birth and experiencing those, and we are vacating the bodies, and again with that, the sanskaras which are there inbound, putting that sanskaras again, we will experience some other. So samsara is a chain of birth and rebirthing, incarnating and all.
So basically, samsara is with this as the background, the spirituality as the background. Samsara is birth and rebirth cycle that goes on. So if we have to get out of that cycle, the vasanas and samskaras has to be nullified, and we should get the grace of Guru for us to be liberated or enlightened. So liberation may be a little later, but enlightenment, at least, if it has to happen, we must have our vasanas and samskaras to reduce. And then that is basically the ego has to reduce. And then we get the birth and rebirth cycle are escaped. So that is what is samsara. Samsara, basically what we understand in colloquial language is that samsara is nothing but what is happening surrounding us. That is what is the general concept that we understand. But basically what we have to understand in this spiritual plane is that samsara is something our body gets suffering. So this is a Tattvabodha. So what is that essential nature? Essential nature, that is the Atma doesn't get any suffering. So it is always blissful. So samsara is for this body, but not for the Atma. So birth and rebirth is for the body, but not for the Atma. So that is what is samsara. So just because she brought in that word samsara, I just told, because our understanding has to be very clear. These are the common mistakes that I did maybe in the initial level. So if we have the clarity of what each term that is used colloquially and in this the spiritual plane, it will be easier for us to understand. Then we will, those are all the questions with the top four.
Sorry, I'm
Now we'll
interrupting you. Can I have a question? Actually, I want to have some clarity. Can I?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So, ma'am, you said this is for the body. Okay. The experiences are required for the body, right? This sentence you have just spoken. Okay. Soul doesn't have anything, so only for body the samsara is required. Is it really, ma'am? It is really so. The body. See, what I listened just now. The samsara, the birth cycles and all is required for the body, not the soul. Not the soul.
Correct.
So without the soul, there is no existence of the body.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So whatever the soul says, the body will do according to the plan. Right?
Correct.
So here I feel instead of using the body as a word in this particular concept to understand, I believe that Jivatma and Paramatma concept suits.
No, because Jivatma, Paramatma hasn't been dealt here actually. It is only understanding oneself, right? Because Paramatma, what is Paramatma has to be explained. Atma, first of all, it is just the Atma. Jivatma, Paramatma hasn't come into picture at all. Okay. So, at least from my, what is this mind telling me? This mind is telling me that I am body. My mind is working. Through my mind, everything is happening. Or intellect is there to guide me. Decision power.
Correct.
Okay. So, I am just, intellect is also a little intelligence we call. So, all those concepts, to be clear, this is the basic foundational text. Wherein Jivatma Paramatma is not dealt here, at least in the initial phase.
Sure. Actually, I felt like, instead of using the body, that's only the thing. Okay. Got your point.
So body, first let us understand that this is body is not permanent, this is changing, and Atma is permanent and it is not changing. Through Atma, everything is being worked. So as you said, it is the Atma which makes us to work. But it is common to all, that is in each and every object that is present, and it is present in me, present in all of you. That is what we'll have to understand. This Brahman is present outside me and Brahman is present inside me. It is the same. It is just that. So now what we are concentrating is we are concentrating on I. What is that I? I means it is the Atma, not me, the ego me. So to come to that point, maybe it's because we would have known many things a little more than what is dealt here. Maybe all those can be brought in. But to fix on to this, that is why we will follow only the video. Because those smaller things can be understood easily.
Done.
So
Got it.
Jivatma Paramatma is actually what we will be dealing it maybe later. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you can only tell Geeta ji, what is the purpose of learning Tattvabodha?
Purpose is once that particular human has that curiosity, like, what's next? Only this worldly life is a truth, or it's beyond that anything is there. So in that search, we have to come to know we are the Sachidananda Swarupas. We have come from that Brahman. We are part of him. So this is how.
Maybe you haven't gone through the talk 5, right? The video. Have you heard
Very
the talk?
few have gone through. Very few of Sir Guruji, Prabhuji's have gone through. Actually,
No.
I have
What
done
has been sent in the group? See, Tattvabodha talks only. The videos are sent in the group, right? Our ISHAVASYA group. So those talks only, if we get prepared, those videos, 2 videos or 1 video, it will be sent. If you prepare for that, only on that, maybe 10 minutes or so, that questions will be asked only on that video, not something else. Because it is vast. Spirituality, Advaita Vedanta is quite vast. It's not a generic way of understanding. So in Tattvabodha, depending on the talks of Guruji, we will I'll have the interaction, that's all. Okay. So
Surely,
maybe
ma'am. I will take a track of it. Actually, last week I was traveling a bit hectic was there. So I need to track, and I follow the rules. Whatever we are following here, definitely I'll stick to it.
okay. Only thing is, some 15 minutes video will be sent. That's all, not more than, or maybe maximum 20 minutes. On those videos, you just listen and make some notes. On those based on those talk, the questions will be asked, so that our understanding is made very clear. It's not to just to see how well you have learned, or nothing like that. It is learning through the group. That's all, satsanga. So, the purpose of this Tattvabodha is nothing but understanding the being part. Maybe Vaishnaviji, you can explain a little bit about human and being.
So one of the very common phrase we use is human being, but the deep meaning embedded in that phrase is that we think human being is us, the body that we are, it is referring to the higher evolved species of mankind. But the human here refers to the body, the changing, the never constant, always dynamic uh, part of our being. So that is the body that is referred to in the word human. But the being is about the consciousness, the 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 constant part of our existence, that which never changes, no matter the human, the body could be old, could be sick, could be happy, healthy, crippled, but the being is what remains the constant, and and what we refer to as the consciousness, the Atman.
Yeah, perfectly said. So human and being. So human we relate to easily. Being is something we forget. So Sudhaji, you can explain with an example as to how we are forgetting being.
How we are forgetting being with an example.
He has quoted the example, the same example. You can just take watering.
Prabhuji says that what happens is when you forget your essential nature, which is the being, and you are only focusing on the human part, and you are only worried about your body, or your body is sick, or your body is growing old, or your mind is, today it feels happy, tomorrow it feels burdened. And so we are always identified with only the human part of it and never focus on the being part. Then Prabhuji says this is like a situation where you go near a plant and you see those beautiful flowers on the different branches of the plant, and you're so mesmerized with the beauty of those flowers on the fruits, and you bring water and you pour water only to the flowers or the fruits and forget about the root of the plant. Then what happens is, the root is the important thing, and it is the root that sustains the entire plant, the flowers, the fruits, the leaves, everything. But when you forget the root and focus on the obvious, which is what we are always doing, we're always focused on the body or the mind, and we forget about the consciousness which is in all of us. Then eventually we are going to come to a situation where you feel very stressed out in life because you're not able to understand what is this. So that is the example Prabhuji has given.
Exactly said. Geeta ji is a general question, maybe even though you haven't gone through the video, you can just answer. Do you think that this society has some impact on us? If so, what may it be?
Yeah, it is. Society has an impact is there on us because we are soul beings, so we are connected. It is the connection is there. So we have all come from the same Paramatman. So definitely it is there. Even materialistically it is connected, and spiritually also it is connected.
Materialistically, how we are connected?
Yeah, we feel like somebody is doing a common thing like fashion. For example, we can take a fashion. If a new trend is going on, trending, the kind of a sarees or kind of a hairstyling, everybody will follow. So this is an example. So how it
Okay.
impacts.
Emotionally, how do you get affected or impacted by the society?
Yeah, if somebody, recently in other countries, so much of violence is happening. Like a lot of killings and the violence is there. So that also whenever we hear and see visually, it will impact our emotions. It will connect to our soul. So definitely we feel.
Yes, you've told it well. Basically, society, maybe our family is a society, the neighbors are our society. Then the people with, maybe if I am working, the people, the colleagues are my society. As you said, the fashion, the latest fashion, if you pick up, so that means say they are following, I have to follow. That becomes the society. The norms also. Maybe this is how we'll have to be with such a group of people. This is how we'll have to, maybe for the temple, you'll have to go like this. All this becomes the rules of the society. So there is always some impact on us from the society. So we tend to follow it. So that is the society for us. So we will have to come out of that society, or being in that, you should be an observer. How it can be done, what can be done, how does a guru or a Vedanta help us in this matter? Vaishnavi ji? How does a guru or a Vedanta help you in getting out of the impact of the society?
When we associate ourselves with the body, the mind, intellect, and we disconnect from the true being, is when there is stress, and then there is a lot of uh, flickering emotions that become too difficult for you to manage. Because you then try to derive happiness from people around you, from your relationships, from the things that you own, or the things or the work that you do, and forgetting that uh, the true you're detaching yourself from the true nature of your being. So when that is the case, there needs to be a guru to teach you that the direction of seeking all this happiness or the knowledge must be an inward journey, and that happens only in the middle of all these distractions. To teach you how to get there is can happen only through a guru mukhena. We have to understand these truths. There's a higher truths that even though simple, but they're very sophisticated in the way that in their practice. The guru has to be there to help you do this.
So the importance of guru can be known only when we experience and when we have guru, and we have had some maybe one-on-one interaction with the guru, and how our doubts are clarified. Only then can we understand why a guru is really needed. Maybe the scriptures, everything we get, but studying that also we get some insight about all these spiritual matters. But still, what a guru does is our own doubts will be clarified by the guru. What suffering that we have, what emotional disturbances we are undergoing, all those are easily tackled by guru without he being present in the situation, or he directing us to do something this, do something like this. He will not direct any in such a manner. He will just, in his presence, everything will be cleared without we asking for our sufferings to be removed. So that is the greatness of a guru. Sudhaji, how is it that the characteristics of the body is put on the self or the atma or being?
So the self is always described as indivisible and infinite. But this body is finite. It's limited in so many ways. In every way, actually, the body is limited. So because the self is infinite, there is always this urge in every mind to expand in some way. That is why everybody will be trying outwardly to expand in some way. It might be in terms of having a strong body, or in terms of having a beautiful body, or in terms of having more power, more fame, more money, or more influence in this world, in terms of having more friends, or maybe more property. It doesn't matter. It is actually what happens is, it is the inner self wanting to know itself as infinite, which actually when it falls as a shadow in the mind takes it as wanting an expansion of the body or the mind, which works out like this in the real world, like in search for more fame or beauty or happiness. So I think that answers the question.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the limitation of the body is not at all understood. We don't recognize that limitation, and we feel that it is what it needs. The body needs that, the satisfying it, and it moves on from one desire to the other desire. So, so the body gets confused. First of all, we don't even remember that there is some Atma in us which is driving us. That is something we forget totally. Even though after having known it, what happens is that we are not recognizing that. So the limited body is not what we see, but we see that body can do infinite job, and it is infinite. That is how we assume things. if Geeta ji, if you can answer this. Body is limited. I am cannot be limited by body. How? It is not limited. I am is not limited. Body is limited.
Of course, ma'am. I am, it's infinite. See, again, I feel this connects to the Jivatma to Paramatma concept. Okay, we are connected to the supernatural creator. So it is infinite, timeless. And the body is limited because this body has got its own biological clock. Okay, it has undergo according to the nature of the biology of the body. Yes, this is how the difference.
Yeah. So I am is universal. The body is limited. That is what has been explained by Prabhuji. And I am is common to all. This has been told by Sudhaji in the beginning also. I am is confined to only, it is not that I am is only I Kanti, you, Geeta, nothing like that. I am, if we take it in different perspective, it is I am is universal. I am is something that is common to all. So this body is limited, but not I am. The consciousness is not limited. Next is Vaishnavi ji. Explain how infinite is taken as finite and feel small in all our activities.
In an extension to what Sudhaji just mentioned, the when we perceive ourselves to be our body, and the reflection that this imperfect understanding and the reflection of that onto our consciousness, we begin to associate with our limited body or the mind or the intellect. So this limitation often makes us feel cramped. We feel that it is never enough. So not realizing that the real self is infinite, and by associating ourselves with something that is finite, we limit our capacity to feel the happiness, to feel content, and this friction causes stress, and there is always this never ending desire to achieve more or to prove our worth by trying to expand what we are associating ourselves with.
Exactly, sir. And there was another example that was given by Guruji, if you can remember. The ball, the rubber ball that is squeezed. See, if you visualize that, maybe you can explain on that basis also. Vaishnavi ji.
Uh,
How?
yeah, maybe I didn't understand that part.
Okay. There's nothing that you explained it as such, but only thing is that example, if we remember, whenever we can correlate, it will be easy for us to maybe follow what is already said here. So the squeezing of the ball, how our life is that we squeeze if at all a softball is squeezed, okay, it tries to expand. Okay, whatever is shrunk will try to expand. That is what our life is also. We feel that we are limited and we want to expand. Maybe if at all in our profession, if somebody has gone up, oh, we have not reached the ultimate. We have not reached the highest. So that is the feeling, that is, we are just feeling that we are limited and we want to expand in each and every manner, be it a position, money, comforts, desires, anything it can be. We feel that we will have to expand and grow more. Like how the rubber ball or the soft ball, when we compress it, it tries to expand. That is how even we feel like expanding. But what we are doing is, we are doing it in the outer world, that is the materialistic world. But ultimately, what we will have to do is what this Tattvabodha tells. I am is infinite, and that is what is to be known. Okay. Why is it that I am not happy with fame, money, power, authority, whatever? Either this is also a general question you can answer, I feel.
That human mind don't have the satisfaction part. Once that one desire is fulfilled, achieved, it will carve for another. So the chain goes on. And if we take this, I feel it is happening because the ultimate part of the soul, that inner being, it must be carving that. So it wants to know that the real Satchidananda Swarupa Ananda is ultimate. Once it touches upon, this will may go.
So, as you said, Satchidananda Swarupa Ananda is something that is missing here. We are searching Ananda everywhere, which will not be complete. So, to remove this limitation, the problem has to be understood well. This is something that's really important, what Guruji has said. How to remove this limitation of I am finite, is that the problem has to be understood well. I am not. I am is not limited. Body is changing and I am is unchanging. I am is what we'll have to understand to remove this limitation. So we'll have to recognize that I am is what leads to the bliss or the utmost happiness. Sudhaji, there are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4 questions are there. Shall we continue because the time is up now?
Can we stop completely? Because
maybe we can continue it in the next class. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll end it with the prayer.
Okay.
Okay. So we had a nice discussion on this talk 3 and half of talk 4. Only 4 questions are left. We'll end this session by the closing prayer. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamuduchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Nanu Nanimbudu Nanalla Ideha Manabuddhi Nanalla Sachidanandatma Shiva Nanu Nane Shivoham 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 Atmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Satyadarshanam Antarjyotihi Bahirjyotihi Pratyakjyotihi Paratpara Jyotireva Jyotihi Swayam Jyotihi Atmajyotihi Shivosmyaham. Lokaah Samastaah Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaah Samastaah Sukhino Bhavantu. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। हरिः ओम तत्सत्। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।